Hey there, welcome to Movie Review Mom. If you are a subscriber returning, yay! Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. And if you are brand new to my channel, yay! I'm so glad you're here. I've been waiting for you. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision for you and your family as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a specific film. So the specific film I'm reviewing today is called Enola Holmes 2. It's the sequel. This action mystery is now available exclusively on Netflix. The film is rated PG-13 and is 2 hours and 9 minutes long. And the movie review mom grade I'm giving it is an A. I really enjoyed it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'm going to point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, funny lines, and even recommendations for other films that I think you're definitely going to like if you like this one. All right, ready? Let's dive in. In a nutshell, the game is afoot. Fresh off the triumph of solving her first case in the last movie, Enola Holmes, who's played beautifully by Millie Bobby Brown, follows in the footsteps of her famous brother, Sherlock Holmes, played beautifully by Henry Cavill, or Cavill. I've heard both pronunciations. So she opens up her own agency only to find that life as a female detective for hire isn't as easy as she thought. Resigned to accept the cold realities of adulthood, she is about to close shop when a penniless matchstick girl offers Enola her first official job to find her missing sister. But this case proves to be far more puzzling than expected as Enola is thrown into a dangerous new world, from London's sinister factories and colorful music halls to the highest echelons of society and to 21B Baker Street itself. As the sparks of a deadly conspiracy ignite, Enola must call upon the help of friends and Sherlock Holmes himself to unravel the mystery. The game, it seems, has found its feet again. All right, so the list of things that I liked about this movie is long, obviously. I got such a kick out of the very first Enola Holmes movie, so I was hoping that this whodunit sequel would be as good. And it was, I thought. Some people are even saying it's better than the first one. I really enjoyed it, but especially because it incorporated the true story about the 1888 match girls strike in the UK, as well as Sarah Chapman, who was a real labor activist at the time. While the first Enola movie was based on the book series by Nancy Springer, this film is actually an original story not included in that book series. I love the cast that features Emmy-nominated actress Millie Bobby Brown, and I actually saw the first Enola Holmes before I ever started watching her popular and Emmy Award-winning TV show, Stranger Things. So, of course, I went and saw that show and was like, oh, okay, now I see why she's so popular and kind of how she got her start. The film also has Henry Cavill, as I mentioned, Helena Bonham Carter, who's fantastic as always, David Thewlis, and Louis Partridge. After seeing Susan Wokoma in the first Enola Holmes movie, I thought it was really fun to also see her cast in the new Amazon Rings of Power. And I was like, wait a minute, I know her. Fun fact, in the movie, Sherlock Holmes is seen kicking a newspaper board that shows the headline, quote, Bank of England raises interest rates, end quote. The movie debuted on Netflix just a few days after the Bank of England really did raise interest rates. So interesting. The issue of white phosphorus among the matchstick girls was a real thing. It was known as phossy jaw. It would start in their jaw and spread. It took many years for white phosphorus to be banned from making matches specifically, even after the connection had been made. I love that Enola Holmes breaks the fourth wall. That is usually a device that is used to let the audience in on the secrets of a movie. Yet we're still surprised, or at least I was, to see how the story unfolds and twists and intersects. So you don't really know everything that's going on, even though she's talking to the audience. I think it's a cute device, and I think it suits this little franchise. So, are you ready for a third installment? I am. However, with all of that good praise, there are a few things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better. For example, some viewers might dislike the female empowerment element of the story. Enola's personality is very stubborn with a know-it-all attitude that makes her less appealing and charming to some people, probably especially men. We're tired, or the men are tired of seeing, 14-year-olds be stronger and better and wiser and smarter than the men, right? Of course, young girls are going to think that she's great. Adults may also say that this is just a kid's movie, partly for those reasons. Fans of Sherlock Holmes often talk about how they don't like the way that his character is portrayed. It's softened, more vulnerable, and even less capable than he's usually portrayed in movies. Some of the sets look like set pieces with green screen backgrounds, and we're often reminded we're watching a movie. I mention that because sometimes I really just want to disappear into a movie and into that whole world. And so in this case, I was like, okay, obviously this is a movie. That's a set. I can see the green screen, that kind of stuff. Let me give you some tips for parents. I think kids will get a kick out of the movie. There are people in perilous situations. We do see several dead bodies and with blood. There's fighting, guns, knives, and various other weapons are used, and there's some alcohol and dancing in not necessarily a brothel, but kind of one of those types of places. Some of the themes that are illustrated well are the power of a mother's words, family, workers' rights, critical thinking skills, friendship, murder, crime, and even loyalty. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines so you can kind of get a taste for the movie. I didn't write down any funny lines, although there is some humor, but I wanted to share some of the interesting lines that I wrote down on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So first, Edith is one of the characters, and she says, "Those who can turn to others when they're in need are the truly brave amongst us." And we see that illustrated in the story as Enola isn't able to figure out all of the clues on her own. She really does need help from her brother, and she also is in danger quite a few times and needs help from others around her. Another interesting line is spoken by Enola Holmes's mother, Eudora Holmes, or Eudora. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Anyway, she says, "Too many people make it their sole purpose in life to fit into the world around them. This is a mistake. It's your path." And we hear that over and over in many movies lately, don't we? Another line that she speaks that I think is really good advice is she says, "Sometimes you stumble, sometimes you'll fall, but no matter how lost you feel, if you stay true to yourself, the path will always find you again." And again, that's partly why Enola is such a strong young lady, is because she's been taught this by her mother over and over and over again. And as she's trying to figure out her path, she tries to stay true to herself. All right, I'll give you one more. This is a line spoken by Mira Troy. Now, no spoilers in this review, so I'm not going to tell you about her character or what the deal is. But she says, "It's remarkable what can be done when people underestimate you." Now, of course, she's referring to Enola Holmes, but she's also referring to herself, and I'm going to say no more about that. Okay, so in addition to recommending that you watch the very first Enola Holmes, in case you missed it, you definitely need to see that one. Let me recommend a couple of other movies that I think have the same type of feel. There's the 2009 version of Sherlock Holmes, and it's very light and fun, but full of intrigue, and it kind of has that same tone, really, as Enola Holmes. And then another one that stars Henry Cavill is The Man from U.N.C.L.E., in 2016. Now there's been a sequel, but I really enjoyed the very first one. It's very cool, and he's very cool and handsome and debonair, of course. But there's some mystery and crime and intrigue and lots of humor and even some kind of slapstick physical type of gags that you also see in Enola Holmes. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching and spending some time with me. I really appreciate your support. When you get another minute, run over to Instagram and join me there. You can find me as Movie Review Mom, of course, but also as Trina Boice, where I talk about my books and my online courses and my daily podcasts. So you can check all of those out, as well as looking down below for links to those things. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.